This week I have a whole bunch of news stories from various dexes, some that I missed and some that are all brand new. I've got stories from MinSwap, WingRiders, SundaeSwap and MueslieSwap as well. I've got some other topics that I'd like to discuss and we'll go through that all in this video right now.
Yeah, gotta do it like that. You've been listening to the Learn Cardano podcast.
Hey everyone, I'm Petey Buey and thank you for joining me on the episode here. If you haven't seen any of my content before, please consider giving me that thumbs up, click subscribe and click on the notification bell and you hear more really great Cardano related content from me real soon. This first news story that came up is from WingRiders. It's a decentralized exchange that is being built by Vacuum Labs. If you haven't seen the video overview that I did of it with the NuFi wallet, check it out in the top right hand corner there and you can see and learn more about the DEX, how it works. It's quite a smooth operation. It looks really good. But this technical series of blogs that they've been bringing out goes through a whole bunch of factors around how they're scaling their solution, how and what transactions might be like. And this particular blog post goes through exactly that. It talks about the transaction speed on the Cardano blockchain itself and how factors affect that. It's a technical blog, so it's a really good read. It's fairly easy to understand, but there are a couple of highlights here that I'd like to point out. So in terms of the block size itself, it is 72 kilobytes at the moment. This block size is increasing incrementally every once in a while. The last increase that ADAOZ did was by 12.5%, and that increased the size to that 72 kilobytes worth, and each script size is 16 kilobytes. So overall, that will give you roughly, for the calculations here, roughly 0.2 to 14 transactions per second, depending on that script size. So if you're converting it roughly to the minute, it's about 12 to 800 transactions per minute. So it's fairly sizable if you think about it. If you can get your scripts really optimized, you can pack things in there and get a lot of transactions out through per every block. If we go further down here, they did a test on the testnet to see what the swap speed, the user experience be like. So not just how quickly can the transactions being hit, but what is that user experience for the swap actually looks like. And they've managed to feel roughly, if you look at their mathematics, you can see that it can possibly do 55, but in reality, they through that testnet example, they managed to get 33 requests. And if you put that in perspective to Uniswap version 2 or version 3 does around 20 to 40 operations per minute, and version 2 of Uniswap does as high as 70 transactions per minute, or so they claim. So with more script optimization, they'll be able to pack more in per block and do some more higher transactions per minute, which is a metric that a lot of people look at. Now, of course, they have that disclaimer there. It isn't an actual real number. It could be changing on mainnet, and with more optimization, you do expect that to change. Now, the typical flow of the actual swap speed, so that's the transaction speed, how fast and how many transactions can be done per minute. But the actual swap speed and the user experience of what you actually will see when you're on the DEX itself actually varies because it depends on that block being submitted to the blockchain. And because in Cardano, a block happens every 20 seconds, it seems like it's taking absolutely forever, but that's because of that block cycle every 20 seconds. So in reality, when you're going through it, the perceived time that it takes could be anywhere between 15 to 60 seconds for that transaction, that swap to occur. But in reality, most of that is purely waiting for the block to be submitted to the blockchain and then for the response to come back. So it's just sitting and waiting for the blocks to go by. So of course, this will also may vary because of the network congestion, and there might be a lot of NFT drops, more swaps happening, whatever it might be, congestion does happen. So that it can slow down that transaction time, or that perceived swap speed a little bit more. So check out this particular blog post. WingRiders are doing a brilliant job of explaining all of this. I haven't given them a little clap yet. There we go. There's the clap. So check out their blog post, links to it down in the show notes. This project here, AnetaBTC, I don't know how I missed that. I absolutely love little projects with little mascots and whatnot. So I'm surprised that I missed it. But AnetaBTC is a project that is bringing wrapped BTC, wrapped Bitcoin, to Ergo and the Cardano blockchain. And they're doing this through creating synthetic assets. Now, they have actually teamed up with MinSwap. How did I miss this? I don't know. But MinSwap is one of those DEXs that is looking like a promising solution and a promising platform in the Cardano ecosystem, with a lot of fans that absolutely love it. Again, I love the graphics. It's always something that catches my attention. But the Aneta team will be airdropping their Neta tokens to the first users of the MinSwap DEX. So this is pretty cool. It allows the Neta team to release their tokens into the Cardano ecosystem, but also reward the MinSwap users on their DEX. So that's really, really cool. They'll be allocating this 10 million Neta to the MinSwap community through their airdrop, and further 38 million Neta remaining for distribution to their community members. So check out this project. Again, everything that I mentioned, all the links in the show notes. You can also get to it on our blog. Further news with MinSwap, they're going through their audit. Great. So that is clear progress. They're going with Twig as well. So Twig are also doing the Wi-Fi audit for all of their stuff, and they've also previously done a audit for Indigo as well. So they're creating synthetic assets on the Cardano blockchain. We'll talk about them in a moment, but they're going through their technical audit at the moment to see if everything's right, and we'll get feedback from the MinSwap team in regards to how that goes. So that pushes them another step forward, closer to actually launching on mainnet. So I don't know what other dependencies they need, but it is definitely one particular thing that needs to be taken care of, and we'll see how that goes and how it plans out in the next few weeks. Now, Indigo is a project that has been around for quite a while, and I've been watching it grow, I guess. That's probably the best word. If you haven't seen it before, check out their website, indigoprotocol.io. There are some various team members on there that may be known in the Cardano ecosystem. Dwayne Cameron, he works on the Liquid protocol. So if you're into the Liquid token, Dwayne's on here. You can see Eric Coley, the CEO and co-founder. And also here we have Hai Nguyen Quang, who is also working on Meld. So a couple of really prominent names there. So if you haven't checked out the Indigo protocol yet, it's something probably you need to put on your radar to keep a track on. In other news, we saw the release of the 1.33.0, the node update for the Cardano blockchain. So a lot of stake pool operators have upgraded to that. And while we were doing those updates, this caught my attention. This particular person, I don't know their name, is running a relay node off their Pi phone. It's I believe a Raspberry Pi phone, and they're running the code off that and managing to get it up and running. And you can see the output there. It's actually operating quite well with a low watt usage of 2.5 watts. That is absolutely phenomenal. It's I don't know how you can get any lower power usage than that. But it's incredible. There's a lot of really good comments around it as well. It'd be amazing to see more of these type of solutions working for the Cardano nodes out there, to actually be able to run one off your phone. Imagine a network of phones that can run the Cardano network. That's absolutely amazing. So it lowers that barrier to entry for anyone that actually wants to run a node, a relay, whatever it might be. It's pretty cool, pretty amazing to see. Now, in other news, we had SundaeSwap release a blog post about the expectations and congestions that may arise when they launch on mainnet. So this is probably signaling that they're almost ready to push and launch onto mainnet itself, which is absolutely amazing. They put this out because the FUD will come, the fear, uncertainty, doubt, the criticisms of the blockchain. So they really wanted to highlight what was to be expected when SundaeSwap launches. It's one of the most prominent projects out there with a huge following and a lot of eyes watching it very carefully. It's been mentioned on many videos. Many YouTubers, influencers are all talking about SundaeSwap. Of course, there was that huge scooper campaign as well, so a lot of people are watching it. In fact, a lot of people came from exchanges jumping onto SundaeSwap, the SundaeSwap pools, expecting the DEX to be launched already, but unfortunately not. And a lot of people are upset about that, but it's just the way it is. Wait until that ISO is announced, and you can find out more details about that in various videos on my channel. So they're expecting a backlog of orders and to be processed during the first few days. And this is to be expected because there are so many transactions happening on the blockchain. They did mention this in one of their tweets. If they were just getting around that 50,000 transactions submitted to the chain on testnet, they wouldn't need to really worry about this. But the community was submitting over 500,000 transactions on the testnet during that testing period. So it's inevitable that now that all these users have been trained up, they know how to use the DEX, they've had an experience for it, they have seen it, they're watching it, that as soon as this launches on mainnet, they'll all jump in, they'll all provide liquidity at that point in time, and hey presto, there'll be issues. So it's really important to set these expectations to see what happens. So the DEX will batch and process all those transactions and get through the backlog. That's how their DEX works. And then over time, it should alleviate that huge surge that we see at the beginning, and you'll be able to see a regular process through and be able to handle the actual demand on a day-to-day basis. So there are a couple of things here that they highlighted in their blog post that will be optimized over the next few weeks, next month or so, and will really help with congestion and processing of orders for not only the SundaeSwap DEX, but all DEXs and any other dApps that are created on the Cardano blockchain. The first one here is spreading the rewards calculation over the entire epoch. So that's over that 5 days. At the moment, it's calculated at the 70% mark, so 1.5 days before an epoch ends. All of the calculation is done to determine which pools and how many blocks each pool will get minted in the next upcoming epoch. So instead of doing that at that particular point in time, it's going to be spread across the entire epoch. That way that load isn't spiking at the particular point and taking up all the resources then. So all the nodes are doing the same thing at the same time. Spread that out, voila, hey presto, it's a much better solution. So there'll be a thing called pipelining as well. I haven't looked into this, but it should improve the block propagation time significantly, which is absolutely amazing. It's really good for stake pool operators, especially ones that live in more remote parts of the world that isn't in the United States or in Europe, where most of the block producers and nodes are. We should see memory optimization, which is absolutely incredible, and also inclusions of various SIPs, the Cardano improvement proposals, numbers 31, 32, and 33. I'll put links to those in the show notes so you can find out more about those improvement proposals. And of course, there'll be additional improvements that the SundaeSwap team will add in based on votes from their community. And as soon as layer 2 solutions come out, they'll be able to scale using Hydra and whatnot. So it's very interesting what will come out of the next year of development. Now you can see the SundaeSwap's team's response to their post. So they put that out so that everyone could read the post. Then they responded back to it and gave more insights into what they expected and why they actually put that post out. I am doing a video overview of the project where it is at the moment, and you can check it out in the top right hand corner there as soon as it is released. MueslieSwap, another DEX that is making waves in the Cardano ecosystem, is hitting goals. They're going, in terms of the swap volume that is on the DEX, it's increasing exponentially, as you can see here from this graph, and is absolutely amazing to see. So they're really doing well with their simple swap mechanism that they have. I've also done a video for them. If you haven't seen it yet, top right hand corner there, you can see an overview of how their mechanism, how their DEX actually works. In other news in regards to fighting climate change, Samsung have decided to partner up with Veritree to plant over 2 million trees in Madagascar. That is a huge amount of trees and reforestation happening on the planet, and it's beautiful to see they're using and partnering up with Veritree to actually make that happen. So Veritree, if you don't know, I did a video interview with the team there. They're doing the tree planting for the Cardano forest, which has also subsequently met its goal of 100% fully funded, which is 1 million trees planted for the Cardano blockchain to help offset the carbon that is created by blockchain in general. So this is enough tree planting to actually carbon offset the entire Cardano blockchain for 5 years. So that's a lot of trees, a lot of carbon that is being put back in the ground. So absolutely amazing work. So that's it for my news covers for this week, but there are a couple of things I'd love to mention. If you're on Twitter and you love Twitter Spaces, Ada Cafe has put up their website with all of the various Cardano spaces that happen every single week. They have the regular time slots when it happens, covering all different parts of the Cardano ecosystem. So please check that out. We have our own Twitter space with Earth Natives that happens every single week, and that happens on Tuesday nights at 11, well, Tuesday night for me at 9:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, but at 11:30 UTC every Tuesday. If you want to check that out, we are talking to a lot of change makers in the Cardano ecosystem, people that have making impact in terms of charities, in terms of real fight, whatever it might be. Now, a highlight NFT project that I'd like to talk about this week is Shadow Realms. We're doing a giveaway with them as well. So check out the pinned tweet in regards to what that giveaway might look like. But they're building a card-based game where it's kind of like Magic the Gathering, but they're doing it all via NFTs and integrating the blockchain into it as well. So it's absolutely fantastic. I did an interview with Rick as well, so you can check out that in the top right-hand corner. He's got a lot of experience in developing games. He's worked on Second Life, all the way back in, I think, late 2000s, and also worked for Blizzard Entertainment. I think it was World of Warcraft that he mentioned. He's done some really cool things, so please check out that interview as well. He's building something really cool, and I'd like to see what you think about the game that he's trying to build. So check that interview out as well. So that's it for me for this week. Again, if you like this type of content, please give me that thumbs up, click the subscribe button, click on the notification bell, and you hear more really great Cardano related content from me soon.
Yeah, gotta do it like that. You've been listening to the Learn Cardano podcast. Gotta get it hype. Crypto is what we like, but this is not investment or financial advice. Gotta do your research, cause it's risky. We know it is. This show is educational and it's informative. Crypto's the future, really, it ain't no debate.